What if I told you your club would sign a player that had 28% of his club's goal contributions in a Premier League campaign? He then dropped down to the Championship with 18 goal contributions and won his club's player this season. And then in his age 29 season, he decided to turn down big money from easier leagues to take the step back up to the Premier League. Oh, and he only cost £6 million, by the way. Gustavo Hamer, welcome back to Coventry City. What a signing. What a statement by the club. It means so much to him, and it means so much to the fans. A huge morale boost. I'm so excited to see him actually live in the flesh. Only highlights can do so much for you. Really being able to see that man put number 38 back on. The fact that the club shop is sold out of ours, allegedly, because everyone was coming in to get their Gustavo Hamer kit, personalized, pay the extra fee, don't care, it's worth the money. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just seeing videos from Alex Craig, that Cov Pod, Simon Lillibry, everyone, what it means, it's everyone's favorite player of all time. Two people that I know named their dogs after him. It just means everything. And it's such a huge, huge, huge thing for this team to have morale and be able to get behind the team even in the tough times. So I'm so excited for it. Welcome into the channel. We've got a couple things we need to talk about today ahead of the friendly, but generally, what my concerns are and what I need to see before we set foot inside the Emirates. The biggest match of the season because it's the first one. Coventry versus Arsenal, the champions of the Championship versus the champions of the Premier League. The entire world against us. I've got about 5 or 6 things that I want to see, and I want to hear your opinions on them. First off, please comment down below what you agree and disagree with. I think pretty much everything I'm saying is reasonable here, but there's a chance you disagree. People disagree about everything. If you're not going to the game tomorrow, I need you in my watch-along. We're going live 15 minutes before the game, and we're going to analyze the hell out of this game. And if Fuller and Balogun steps foot in the CBS, lock that man in a room respectfully. Because we need him if Haji Wright is truly injured. Besides the point, we are going to be running a Premier League predictions bracket this season. I'm going to be making a video every single week coming out on Monday or Tuesday where I give you my predictions for the upcoming game week. You can plug your predictions in to this website that I'm going to show you right here. It's called Pure Predictions. Quite literally, just have to put an email in. You can see we've already got 34 members. Look at all these scrubs I'm going to beat. And I'm going to just basically kind of pull up the people that are performing well in the recap videos while I give you my picks for the following week. We can laugh, we can cry, we can debate. And if you start cooking me, I'll bring you on. Why not? I'll bring you on. Screw it. You could just take over my channel and everything. So all you have to do is just click the link, put in your email, and join. You can actually win money and prizes like gift cards through the site. For me, I'm going to buy the winner a kit of the private league. We're up to 34 members. It's going to be a great time. I think it'll be a lot of fun, too. Just a good way to get you guys involved. And, yeah, that's that. Secondly and lastly, I don't even know where we're at, guys. I just worked, and I just had an interview. It's a long morning. We're almost at 5K subs. So please, subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I'm asking you to leave a comment about anything in the video. And also, if you have any hypes, you can hype it and like it. It's free. All right, first things first, I would like to speak about the midfield. Now, I've got a theory here. I've got a theory, and maybe it's not as much of a theory anymore considering we're just a little bit over 7 days away. We are going to go with the death by 1,000 paper cut method in the midfield. So maybe our midfield 3 isn't going to be better than your midfield 3 in the Premier League, but maybe our combination, our tandem of 4 to 5 will be better than whatever you decide to put out. Your 3, your 4, whatever it may be, if you make substitutions as well. Now, this is a little bit of a risk because it's going to come down to Frank Lampard's tactical abilities and his ability and of him and his staff to read the game and know who would belong in what situation. Because if you look at the midfield depth right now, it's absolutely, absolutely sexy. It looks great. The only outgoing was Jamie Allen due to contract expiration, and then Gustavo Hamer was brought in, as we obviously know. We spent a couple of minutes yapping about it. So you can just kind of see like my little mock-up that I've got right here. And I'll, break it down. I'll talk about the defense. I'll talk about the attack at a later point. But I'm very curious to know how this is going to look. Are we going to go with a true number 10 where their role is to sit higher than our double pivot? are you willing to give up that little bit of defensive work? Obviously, Jack Verdoni is going to be out of the picture for now. I could see him definitely being more of a super sub, at least in the beginning, because obviously he's not going to be match fit. And also, he's a little bit more of a luxury because he's got that on the ball skill. I do wonder if Gustavo Hamer can slot right into your number 10 role. He played 90 minutes with Sheffield United. From at least what I saw, they didn't tweet out any graphics of him being subbed out of the game. So don't shoot the messenger on that. But I do just wonder if providing that little bit of extra defensive help with like a Gustavo Hamer or really a Josh Eccles, Torp is going to give you a little bit of it too. But pecking order wise, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously I have not watched Gustavo Hamer as much as you. Defensively, I would probably say you go Eccles 1, Hamer 2, Torp 3. From what I've heard, Hamer does tend to gas out a little bit. So it's probably more likely that you're going to see something like a Hamer coming off the bench. If I could change him out, maybe I'd swap him out for an Eccles, but I do feel like Eccles is going to end up having to sit a lot deeper. And then the concern with that, obviously, is it's going to be like near impossible to get yourself out of dangerous situations. And then, of course, I'm totally forgetting our quite literal record signing. Where does Caleb Urenchi sit in all this? Because the last time that he played a professional football match, it was at center back. So is he like one of the guys that's going to come in for Grimes Onyeka? I mean, let's be real here. Come into the season, Grimes and Onyeka aren't going to be able to go full 90 against Premier League midfielders, Premier League attackers for an entire game. I think if anyone watched that friendly against whoever the hell we played, Espanyol, Matt Grimes was the heartbeat of this team. I said in the video last weekend, and I feel like I remember him being a lot more mobile than last season, like significantly more, because I feel like it was like few and far between you'd ever see Matt Grimes like up here in the box. But I almost feel like there were times where he was joining in on the press. And then Onyeka was the one that was sitting back. He kind of like unleashes him and lets him be creative and do whatever he wants to do. And then Hamer, or whoever it may be, can kind of free roam as well. They work on, synchronizing their presses together. Sometimes we kind of shift into like, maybe you'd call like a 4-4-2. I noticed a lot last season, especially when Rudy and Haji were the starting players or just on the pitch at the same time. But I definitely saw Matt Grimes like being released a lot. And then, of course, you've got the typical, and let me just move this around a little bit so you kind of get what I'm saying. We had like this going on here, and then Grimes would always drop in. Long story short, bro's going to be gassed. So do you see like Urenchi coming for Grimes, or do you see Onyeka coming for Urenchi, or vice versa? I mean, like for like sub, you're probably looking at Urenchi for Onyeka, but you do have to test things out. And I do wish we had a couple more games to do it. And I don't think you can play another behind closed doors match realistically before the Arsenal game because you need full recovery, of course. By the way, Arsenal are making a push for Konsa now as well from Villa. They valued him at 35 mil and Villa value him at 60 mil. I don't think either of those are correct, but 35 mil for an established English center back in the Premier League, come on. You know you've got the money. So that's my thought about the midfield three. Just really concerned about the number 10. Is just like, does anyone have like the speed to like make a quick half turn on the ball, get out of pressure? Obviously, like we know like the flair with Hamer and whatnot, but how long can you do it for? Just a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty, and like I'm looking forward to finding out. And like definitely like nothing really to panic about. It's more just good speculation. Just obviously we just want the best for the football club. So that's that. Moving on, because I just yapped for way too long about that. And I was going to talk more about the midfield. I'm going to loop back around. We need to talk about Ellis Sims. Ellis Sims is our only fit striker going into the season. And I made this. Yes, I made this myself. Don't poke the bear. Now listen, hear me out for a second. We need hold-up play from Ellis Sims to improve. We need aggression from Ellis Sims to improve. When he got knocked down and kicked in the Achilles in the second half of the match against Espanyol, his play completely changed. Whatever pissed him off before that Watford game where he scored the hat trick and he scored one of the goals of the season that no one's going to ever talk about again because it was like an irrelevant game, which is really unfortunate. Like, the guy was just playing different that day. So, like, what do you have to do to get Ellis Sims to really, like, play angry, like, play aggressive, play mean? Because it's in there. It's honestly really in there, you know. Obviously, like, little things as well. You want him to, like, make the right pass. Like, when he successfully executes that hold-up play, like, wait for the overlapping run or the inside run from Sakamoto. I just remember that example, like, vividly. And, like, he didn't lay it off, and he tried to go a different way. Obviously, like, Ellis Sims isn't going to, like, take on a defender from, you know, basically the center circle. Like, he probably should have laid the ball off there, but he was trying things. I just really want to see like some genuine aggressiveness from Ellis Sims because in my mind, he is our starting striker at the Emirates. And Arsenal are strengthening at center back to stop this man. So someone poke the bear. Don't do anything crazy to the guy. Let's look at his Instagram. What does he love and care about? Let's see. Football. Okay. All right. Go pop his match ball. Go pop his match ball right before the friendly or the Arsenal game. Wow. Look at that. See my comment right there. Did he reply? No. He didn't even like it. Ellis. Anyways. Overall, just in all seriousness, I just want to see some aggression from Ellis Sims because, you know, he's proven it before. And there's a player in there. I've definitely been critical of him. I feel like he's a little bit lackadaisical when he plays. Obviously, you can say like issues about Haji Wright too. I'm not pushing the two together because that's not even a debate right now. But I just really think like we will have no chance of scoring if he's not asserting his dominance and like just fucking laying into Gabriel, throwing him around. You know that's what they're gonna do to you. Like when we have corners, like Ellis is one of our like front posts, like almost like penalty spot defenders. Like they're gonna be grabbing at him, they're gonna be picking him. Like he needs to get angry, and I think he can do it. So that's that. Next thing we want to talk about, I want to see in the friendly is I want to see you in my YouTube live stream because we're gonna do a watch along and we're gonna talk super heavy tactically. And before you say it's a friendly, it's the last friendly before the first appearance in the Premier League against the champions in 25 years, okay? So I'm taking everything with whatever the exact opposite of a grain of salt is. I am taking this to like a freaking snowball that rolled down a hill during a snowstorm. Like I am overanalyzing the hell out of this game because Monaco are a good side. You know, they finished 7th in Ligue 1 last year. They've played European football in the last couple of years, I believe. They've got a really good striker in Balogun, which actually he's not going to be playing. And by the way, he's valued at 60 mil to Spurs, which seems like a bit of an overpay to me. If he was in like the 30 mil range, I'd be saying we should, like, actually I already mentioned it, but do not let the man leave. Now, they're a good young squad. They just beat Liverpool 3-2. I mean, they didn't look crazy, but like just kind of taking a quick peek through their squad, they've got a really good mix of like physicality, speed, pace. Like generally, this will be a very good test. And another thing that I want to circle back around now too is I said that I want us to suffer a little bit. Matt Grimes said it in his Sky Sports interview. We're going to have to suffer at times. We're going to be suffering at the Emirates for portions of the game. Now, I like to see this right here. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. So Monaco was 6th in average possession in Ligue 1 last year, so 53.7%. I don't think we need to be too like crazy about getting the ball in the back half of last season, like especially when Frank Onyeka came in. We thrived without the ball, and we're gonna have to be comfortable doing that. Out of the 3 promoted teams, I'll be completely honest with you, Hull were the one most comfortable without the ball. Of course, it gets to a certain point, you know, where if you're conceding 70% possession, it's just inevitable. Like we saw in the UCL final after Arsenal went up 1-0. Like they just did not even have a thought of trying to attack at all. And eventually they just broke down. It took 120 minutes, albeit. So, but I mean, that's just one example I can think of. I want to see them suffer. I want to see them, you know, work themselves out of sticky situations, draw fouls, lump balls over the top, and really just look comfortable in those high pressure situations. So like Rushworth building rapport with Bobby Thomas and Arella Menda, because in my mind, actually I'll show you right now, this is what I think our starting lineup is going to be. I would say my one thing is I genuinely have no idea who's going to start in the number 10 role. We didn't see Victor Torp in the last friendly. Hopefully, we see him play against Monaco because I really don't know. I really, really don't know. I'd actually like to know what you think in the comments. Like, who is going to be the number 10 at the Emirates? I didn't love BTA in the 10. I almost would rather him coming on the wings. But the more I think about it, I do see an argument for starting him there just because of his energy. Holy moly, guys, I apologize. He's got great energy. He can help with that like front press, even if it's by himself at times. A little bit of him and Ellis syncing up. We saw a couple times where Ellis Sims had a nice like solo press. Of course, levels, different competition, but yeah, it's probably gonna have to be BTA if I'm being completely honest with you, because then you've got one winger to replace on either side. Or no, actually, it doesn't have to be BTA technically. You've got Loom Chauna, who we really don't know if his preferred side from Frank is left or right. And then obviously you've got Sakamoto, and I guess Mason Clark is kind of a question mark too. We definitely need to see him tomorrow. I guess that's another thing that I'm sort of thinking about, and I really need to see like a lot of creativity from our wingers. And we know what Sakamoto's about. We know what he's going to do. I really hope that in the Premier League he's protected, which I think a lot of people say and think that he will. Just because, obviously he's smaller, but like he's not afraid to like pull off dribble moves on people and like really get stuck in. So hopefully he gets those foul calls, and then hopefully it can lead to dead ball situations, which are going to be critical for us, which I feel a lot better about with the return of Gustavo Hamer. Obviously, had to obligatory rewatch of all of his Cov goals and assists. A like over 50% of them came from just whipping balls in, not just from set pieces, not just from corners, just from, getting the ball out wide and just finding, someone's head. So like Gustavo Hamer and Arella Menda, like a year ago, there would be no way of ever linking those two players together now. And we're potentially looking at a season where they could connect for what, 3 goals? I don't know. I don't know if you saw my short yesterday, but we scored 27% of our goals from set pieces last season. I think 20% is possible. Obviously, we're not going to score 97 goals, but we might score, 45 goals, and 12 of them might be from set pieces, free kicks. You never know. Obviously, it's all speculative. That's just kind of my thoughts. I think that'll be really, really interesting to watch. And let me see, what else do I want to talk about in this? Because I've got a lot of concerns. But like, guys, how I see it, like, we are gonna give our players a chance. And if you told me that like a couple months ago, it would have absolutely horrified me, because like everyone just over and over again, Sunderland, 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 Sunderland model, blah blah blah, this that. So I just kind of assumed the norm, and even looking into historical trends is like you turn over like 10 to 12 players. I think it was average 12 players departing from the 3 promoted teams last season. But you quickly get up to that number when you think about players that ran out of contract, players that go out on loans, things like that. But like we haven't had like the one real sale that's like dug in a stake through my heart, and I'm dreading that. But now it kind of feels like you take anyone out of this team. Like obviously there's like ancillary players, so like no offense, but like a Wolfenden or a Brow like isn't going to change too much because I don't think they were ever really in consideration. But if anyone were to go out now, like it would really honestly be like a massive issue. We haven't talked about Kessler Hayden much. I really think that he can impose his will as a super sub. Like, obviously, we didn't sub out our defenders much last year, but these guys are going to be under a lot more pressure. So, like, one thing that I would love to see is, like, is he, it just sucks that we only have one more game. I low-key wish we played more friendlies. Obviously, they did behind the closed door, so we don't know the exact position of people. But, like, I would love to give Kessler Hayden a run out in a friendly at left back. I think he did it once or twice last season, and he looked okay. Obviously, a little bit of an injury, an unlucky season for him, but just such a good locker room guy. I absolutely love the kid. I'm calling him kid because he's younger than me, not in a derogatory way. Don't be weird. But holy crap, man. We need a striker. And I'm not even saying to displace Ellis. We need some competition. That's like, that may outweigh left back for me right now. That's what I've gathered from, my set of notes that I took while I was thinking about making this video. I want to see creativity. I want to see, how the midfield sets up, how they can absorb pressure. I want to see the rapport built as quick as humanly possible between Bobby, Arel, Rushy, the entire back line. I mean, can almost kind of count Grimes in there. And yeah, man, just lots of things to think about. We almost need to do a live stream one of these days. Maybe we'll do a live at some point this weekend just general State of the Union. 21 minutes. Sheesh. Sorry, guys. Okay. That's going to be the end of the video. I would absolutely love it if we could get to 5K before the end of the weekend. I said before the season started, maybe we could do it even a couple days in advance. I'll leave the link to Pure Predictions down below. Don't forget, totally free. Just have to put an email in, and it'll be fun. You might get appeared in my videos, and you might get praised. I might cook you. I might yell at you if you predicted Cov to lose 9-0 to Arsenal. But yeah, it'll be all good stuff. And I'll see you tomorrow for the watch along. If you're going to the game, enjoy yourself. Peace out.